Hey everyone, Genome here, coming at you with the next episode in my music review series. Lately I've been taking a look back at mostly 70s music, and a lot of it had to do with like supreme harmonization, right? Bands that really epitomized harmony. I kind of want to stick with that, but at the same time, I've had the song stuck in my head for the last couple days, so I figured, why not just do it, right? It was a 70s song, so not too far off, and technically there's some harmonies here on the chorus, a little more traditional, but today's artist, as you can see that screen, is going to be none other than David Bowie. I think David Bowie was probably the most important popular musician in the last at least 50 plus years. He kind of took the helm of the Beatles ship as far as experimentation with music and talent, of course, goes. And then he kind of upped the ante a little bit, and he kind of invented stadium rock. You know, he kind of invented, not so much invented avant-garde, but he really catapulted it to the top. And he got to where people, normies, could listen to it, you know what I mean? He was a really interesting guy, man. He reinvented himself so many times. He was making music right up to his death, which unfortunately happened about, year and a half, 2 years ago? But just now, a lot of people use the term Renaissance man. This guy was a true Renaissance man. He was an artist in every sense of the word. I mean, be it the physical mediums of like visual artwork, auditory artwork, of course, with music and stuff. He was a pretty damn good actor. He was in that movie Tesla, playing Nikola Tesla, and he was in, of course, Labyrinth, and several other little features like that. But just really kind of a fascinating guy. I'm not real big on like meeting like celebrities and things. I know I do like interviews and stuff, but like as just wanting to meet and hang out with a person, there's not really too many like musicians or actors, anything like that I like to actually just sit there and hang out with. He's one of the very, very few that I would love to just sit around on the couch with a couple of guitars and, just see what happens. I think it'd be just, I don't know, it would be something else because he was really just such a talented guy, and I would love to have met him at some point. Just, like I said, if nothing else, to have a little quick jam session or, I don't know, write a poem or write a screenplay. Who knows what you could do in his house, So today I'm going to be taking a look back at, it's kind of a hit for him, but it was only a hit for him after he got popular. It was like released 2 years after the actual album was released, and he made it to the mainstream a little more. But this one's actually Rock and Roll Suicide. It's one of the, there's a lot of strange stuff that he does. There's not too many cookie cutter songs that he does, but as far as his hits go, this one's an odd one. It's got this. If this song reminds me of anything else, it's, for those Beatle fans out there, is "Happiness is a Warm Gun." This starts off kind of ballady, kind of standard, typical fare, but with wacky lyrics, man. I love the lyrics in this song. You should look at the lyrics sometime on the Lyric Finder or whatever. Just do a search on it. But this song just builds and builds and builds, and at the very end, it's like this gigantic crash of like the 50s, 60s, and 70s, like sensibilities all in one. I mean, you almost think like a doo-wop trio backup accompaniment is going to be start singing at any point. It doesn't happen, but it sounds like it with the horns and stuff that kind of just kick in at the end. And he starts off with a very reserved, just kind of, ooh, and then kind of it just rises and rises and rises. And at the very end, he's just wailing. Bowie doesn't get a lot of credit for his vocal prowess, and true, why he didn't have the greatest range in the world. He was just a solid singer, man, and he didn't really mask his deficiencies in like the vocal range or department like nearly as much as other artists did. Like if his voice cracked, sometimes you heard it. I mean, especially toward the end, like in the 2000s above, if his voice would waver or quaver just a little bit while he was singing, he left it in there, and it just gave it this kind of otherworldly kind of sound to it. But it was just, I don't know, he was just real true to his voice. Not to say he didn't like production, of course he did. Every artist does, but so yeah, he just goes off like a banshee at the end of this song. I'm sure, probably very much like Lennon in Twist and Shout, I'm sure he had trouble speaking for a while after he got done singing this, because he just shred your vocals, man, doing things like this. But anyway, enough from me. Let's get into the song. This one's a little harder to talk during because it gets a little loud toward the end, but I'll try to walk through what I can. But anyway, this is 1972's Rock and Roll Suicide by David Bowie. Enjoy. Nice little kind of acapella intro, but just a slight accompaniment of guitar, but it just kind of drops off to let him take over.
Time takes a cigarette,
Famous lines.
puts it in your mouth. You pull on your finger, then another finger, then cigarette. The water wall is calling, it lingers, then you forget. Oh, ho, 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 you're a rock and roll suicide.
Kicked right back to a little bass drum, kind of like a heartbeat. If you listen to the lyrics, it makes sense. I got this underwater guitar going on. Love it.
And the clock waits so patiently on your song.
I just picture him like with his cigarette in the studio and kind of up into the mic.
When you've lived too long. Oh no, 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 you're a rock and roll suicide.
Excellent dropping of other instruments. Kind of isolated his voice. And now here it is. Here's the big changes, man.
But the day breaks instead, so you hurry home. Don't let the sun blast your shadow. Don't let the milk float rob your mind. They're so natural, religiously unkind. Oh no, love, you're not alone. You're watching yourself, but you're too unfair. You've got your head all tied.
Yeah, I like how he has the bravery to have that solo there while the instruments drop again. Now he starts shredding his voice.
Just turn on with me, and you're not alone. Let's turn on and be not alone. Give me your hands, 'cause you're wonderful. Give me your hands, 'cause you're wonderful.
Love this ending, man. Just like his voice. A solo, like cello, or just, oh man, what a song! What an artist! I can listen to Bowie till my ears bleed. He's always been one of my faves. He kind of transcends the decade in which he sings, and he sang in all of them, basically since the '60s. It's it's songs like this that really make me appreciate him as an artist, because especially when you're first starting out, a lot of guys might try to shoehorn it to a little more of a pop sound, like stick with the Suffragette Cities and things like that, or whatever, like Rebel Rebel, more basic songs that appeal to the pop audience. But he didn't. He just threw it on the album because I know he liked it. That's what he always had, a vision with his albums, and I think he stayed pretty true to him. Especially toward later years when he had a lot of creative license after he made it big time. But I don't know, it's just it's a testament that someone who could put out music as different as he did, that would sell so well and became so popular. I mean, he sold an image too, of course, through the years, the Ziggy Stardust and the Thin White Duke era, and then the '80s Bowie, Let's Dance kind of era. It was all, he was like a chameleon. He was always changing, but it just worked for him. So, yeah, I know it's a little bit different song for, the show, but I just thought it's been stuck in my head for like 3-4 days now, so I was like, I got to play this. So, yeah, just amazing artist, really cool song. And like I said, the lyrics are bad. I should have actually scrolled them across, but I didn't want to do it. The presentation I put together is just a quickie, but it's easy to look up. But like I said, just give him a shot, man. He's if you haven't heard some of his off the air, off radio stuff, it's so cool, man. You don't get bored listening to Bowie. That's the thing, man. There's always something different. So anyway, thanks for watching. There'll be more of this coming up here in the near future. I'm trying to do at least one of these a week. And so I'll probably get back on a little more regular like adherence to what I've been doing as of late next week. But hey, when a song gets stuck in your head, you gotta play it. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Until next time, this is Genome. Sad that Bowie's gone. Out.